How's the market? I'm Jim with the Bishop team, giving you all the information that you need to know for the South Orange County real estate market here in March of 2024. So today we're going to dive into the key indicators for South Orange County, just because all of the news says a lot of different things and it doesn't always match with what's going on here. So if you want to know, stay tuned and you'll get the inside scoop. So one of the first things that we're going to look at is the number of homes for sale. Some call it inventory. On the screen, you'll see the number of homes that were listed in February. And if you look at the right side of the graph, you'll see that that bar for February of 2024 went up from 2023. In fact, it's up about 18%. Last year was pretty slow. If you look compared to 2019, there were 46% fewer homes, but again, a recent trend is upward. On the next slide, we will see that year to date, the number of homes coming on the market is up as well compared to last year. In fact, it's up 19%. We're still down 46% from 2019 and all the other years on your screen, but a recent trend is up from last year. And that's good news. We need more homes for sale. There are way more buyers than there are homes to choose from. Our last listing last week, we had 260 people come through the open house and had about 10 offers, and it was just crazy. So we need more homes for sale. So this chart shows you the number of homes that are for sale on the market. And while we've had more homes come on the market than last year, we're still down about 4% compared to 2023. That means there are fewer homes on the market, and we'll get to the reason why that's happening in a second. This is another way to look at it. The red line is 2024. You can see we are below last year, actually above 2022, which was all-time record lows. So a few more homes for sale, but still really low numbers compared to, look at that blue line for 2019. So that's supply. Now let's look at demand, or the number of homes in escrow. These are buyers writing offers, getting into escrow, and looking at buying a house. So we do have 2% fewer homes in escrow today compared to 1 year ago, and a lot fewer homes in escrow compared to the last 5 years. In fact, 51% fewer than 2021. Was a crazy active market. Now this shows you the escrow trends through the year. Typically the demand goes up through March, April, May, and then tapers off the rest of the year. We're kind of following last year's trend, the red line, just above the gray line. We had been trending above, and like we said earlier, we're about 2% below that. But since we have such low supply, our demand is way down as well. There's other factors we'll talk about in a minute that affect the number of homes in escrow, including interest rates. All right, this one's a little bit confusing, but this is our escrow index. When the red line is above the blue line, that means we have more homes in escrow than for sale. In fact, in 2021, we had twice as many in escrow as for sale. The whole year was like that, really crazy. We'd gone back to where we had more homes for sale than for escrow, and the last couple of weeks we've gone back more homes in escrow than for sale. Super hot, more buyers than homes for sale. The next key indicator is the closings, the number of homes that sold. So you can see in 2024 we had 13% more homes closed in February than 2023. We are down from the other years, going back to 2019 as you can see, and remember 2021 was that really busy year, but up from last year. And on this slide, if you look, we are up about 9% over last year, but down from the most recent years, including about 47% from 2021, that busy year. And this is just another way to look at the seasonality, how throughout the year the sales go. Again, ramping up towards the summer and then tapering off. We are following that general trajectory, just at a relatively lower number. We still have pretty high interest rates. We did have 8% in October. They've come down since then, but as soon as they got into the 6s, they went back into the 7s until this last week when they dipped just below 7%. Interest rates are the overwhelming thing that is driving a lot of activity or not leading to activity in the market. Got some buyers that have pulled back and a lot of sellers that have pulled back from listing their home because maybe they have a 3% and they don't want to go buy with a 7% interest rate, so they're staying put, even though they want to upsize, they want to downsize, they want to move to be by the grandkids, whatever the case may be. They're sitting pat, and the interest rate is the number one thing leading to that, and the fear of the unknown. So all of that leads to pricing. What have prices done? Well, if you remember supply and demand, because demand is still high relative to supply, we have this trend. In February, prices went up to a record level for South Orange County. We went up about 4%, as you see at the right end of the graph. That's 14% year over year. So February last year, which was about the bottom after the interest rate rise, we went up 14%. So if we look at a couple local cities, Laguna Hills in blue, Ladera Ranch in red, and Aliso Viejo in the greenish line, we see that Laguna Hills is up 19% in the last year, Ladera Ranch is up 12%, and Aliso Viejo is up 16%. So quite a lot of gain in the last year for these local cities. This last chart shows where we are compared to the peak. So Laguna Hills is actually at the peak on the blue line. Ladera Ranch was at the peak in January, pulled back about 7% in February, and Aliso Viejo is about 2% off the peak. So that gives you a quick snapshot into our local South Orange County real estate market. If you're wondering how your city or your neighborhood fits into this, give us a call. That's what we're here for as your leading realtors here in Orange County, California. Please remember to hit the subscribe button to get updates on all the latest real estate information. I'm Jim with the Bishop team, bringing what you need to know in today's real estate market.